Carson, when you
Yes,
think
Darcy.
of the milkman, the paperboy, the evening TV, what do you think of?
Shrek.
Nope, you stumped me. That of all the things that I thought could have come from that question, that wasn't one of
The
them.
gingerbread man?
No,
Oh no, you said the milkman.
Man.
Okay, you see where my brain process is though. Milk, bread, gingerbread, man, Shrek.
Well, it's the theme song to Full House, but
Oh.
it's also about the idea of classics. And what we're having today is the most classic cocktail you can have.
Okay,
It's the old fashioned.
sounds old
Yeah.
and fashioned. Yeah? Hi everyone, my name is Carson and I have never had a cocktail that I enjoy.
I'm Darcy and I'm here to fix that.
This is a tall order.
The old fashioned is probably the best living dinosaur of early cocktails. Originally it was made with gin, now it's more often made with whiskey. At the time, a cocktail literally just meant water, bitters, spirit, and sugar. But the old fashioned is a very simple recipe, and what I personally love about it is that I think every bartender, every person that makes it, has certain things that they do differently. Some people do what the original cocktail was, where they take like a sugar cube and they put the bitters on it and then they muddle that sugar cube. I personally don't like the granular texture of that, so I use simple syrup. Some people will change the balance of the spirit, like the amount of liquidness of that in there. The worst thing I've seen though was, I saw a bartender once put all the ingredients of the old fashioned into the rocks glass that it goes in, as well as an entire chunk of orange and like several random berries, and then slam a cocktail shaker on top of the rocks glass, shake it up, and then slide that over to me. And I was like, oh, okay.
Where was this?
It was a
Oh shit!
It was an interesting approach to making that drink. You know what, I understand. It actually, weirdly, it's somewhat similar to the mid-century approach to that drink, which is in the 50s. They did tend to just, making old fashions, throw a bunch of just fruit in there, like quarter chunks of orange, stuff like
See,
that.
that sounds like something that I would like.
What we're making today is my personal classic old fashioned, the thing
Okay.
I make whenever I make an old fashioned.
I'm excited.
So you want to grab that rocks glass for me,
I would love to.
which also is called an old fashioned glass.
This is a cup.
So you want to put some ice in there. Okay. We've already chipped one glass.
I'm changing my method. Okay, this is not a good method.
No. Why is that better? It's just gonna slip.
I don't want to touch the ice. It's gross. You don't know where my hands have been.
You should have washed them before we did the show.
I did.
That's perfect. So, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add our bitters.
Okay. I'm just trying to fix this bottle. Okay.
It's a long-standing tradition that all Angostura bottles have a label that's too big for the bottle.
Why?
Because when the people who were designing it back in the 1800s were making the first batch, the person who was in charge of the labels and the person in charge of the bottles were two different people, and they didn't communicate properly and ended up coming to the final review board with bottles and labels that did not match. And it's been like that for over 100 years.
That's so funny.
Yeah. So we're gonna start with just 3 dashes of that onto our.
3 dashes.
So you're gonna take it and you hold it from the bottom, kind of like that, and then just boom, boom. Perfect. Right.
Looks spicy.
It does have a bit, it's a lot of spice, a little bit of sweet as well.
It smells like cinnamon.
So we're gonna do a very small amount, just half a teaspoon. So that's really gonna just look like, take this and just pour out a little bit into that, and I'll just pour it in. Just a touch. Perfect.
That's it?
That's it.
Sure.
Next up, our whiskey.
Okay.
So we're gonna put in 2 ounces of bourbon.
Wait, but I don't like bourbon.
We'll find out. They say a lot when you're making old fashioned that you should always start with a good bourbon because it's gonna make up the majority of the drink. And so if you're gonna make it with anything else, it's gonna be pretty bad. So I wouldn't make it with bottom shelf bourbon.
Yeah.
The last thing we're gonna do is just add a little garnish.
Olive.
This is personal taste, but I like
You
to
just
add.
licked that. You just licked that.
Fine. We've been sipping from the same glasses all day. This
What?
is just a brandied
I
sherry.
mean, for the past month, as we've been shooting these on separate days.
Wait, I'm sorry. Do you think that the lie is that we've been shooting them we shoot them, they're released, and people are watching it live? Okay. So, just put one brandied cherry in there. Now, normally you use like a maraschino cherry, something like that, but I had brandied cherries. I like brandied cherries, they're good. And the last thing, before we put our orange peel in, it's just a splash of water.
What?
Top.
Why?
There's different reasons for this. Partly it's traditional. Partly it's also because certain kinds of whiskey change their flavor profile just a little bit when water's added. I think it's more traditionally Islay Scotches, but some bourbons might also as well. And then the last thing you want to do is just add a twist of orange. Some people will do a whole chunk of orange, like you'll actually have like the inside of the fruit in there as well. But I think just a little bit of the rind is classier. Well, there's your old fashioned. Want to give it a try? I mean, you don't want to, I can tell, but you certainly should.
Oh no, Darcy. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, this is the worst one by far.
Really?
Oh God.
That's interesting. Let's see what happens when we stir it up a little bit.
Oh no.
I dig it.
Yeah, again, you like the taste of this.
I know.
It's just the fact that there's no like mix. You know what I mean?
That it's not coming with anything besides spirit, basically.
Yeah.
The primary flavor is spirit.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're learning. So, is this an order for you?
No.
No.
Please, God, no.
Is there any circumstance in which you would order an old fashioned?
No.
Not even to appease some old English teacher?
No. I mean, no, I just can't drink it. I can't get it down. It like physically hurt my body
Fair
to drink
enough.
that.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Well, that was a fairly short and straightforward answer to the question of whether or not you
Yeah,
like old
just straight. Literally, that was a tall order. Bye.